Fox, Kansas City.
Yes, Kansas City, MO. You are correct.
I'm
Kansas
from
City,
south
Missouri.
of there.
Have you been back? Do you go back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
you go
still
back?
own the
Okay.
farm I was born
Oh,
on.
really? All right, cool.
Yeah. But it fell out of the family, and I was driving by, and I was showing my wife.
Many people know Don Johnson as the charming actor who became a television icon with his unforgettable performances. For decades, he won millions of fans with his talent, confidence, and Hollywood success. His career made him one of the most recognizable stars of his generation. But now, at 76, his life has taken a very different turn. So, what has really happened to Don Johnson? What heartbreaking challenges is he facing today?
My style there of the T-shirt, no socks, no belt, was a function of how...
And how has life changed for the man who once seemed to have it all? Johnson's hedonistic lifestyle. Johnson was especially known for loving to party. Friends, reporters, and people in the entertainment industry often described him as someone who enjoyed staying out late and spending time at high-profile social events. Whether it was a celebration at a private mansion, a nightclub, or a beachside gathering, Johnson was frequently seen among famous actors, musicians, athletes, and other celebrities. He also gained a reputation for having many romantic relationships. Throughout the years, Johnson was linked to several well-known women, including actresses, models, and other public figures. Newspapers and entertainment magazines regularly reported on his dating life, making it a popular topic among fans. Because of this constant attention, his relationships often became headline news, adding to his image as one of Hollywood's biggest stars and most talked-about celebrities. During the 1980s, when Miami Vice made him an international superstar, Johnson's lifestyle became even more extravagant. The success of the television series brought him wealth, fame, and endless opportunities to attend exclusive events. At that time, he was one of the most recognizable faces on television, and his popularity opened the doors to some of the most private and luxurious parties in the United States. Johnson has openly admitted that he used substances during that period of his life. He later revealed that heavy drinking and substance use became part of his lifestyle while he was enjoying the success of Miami Vice. According to Johnson, he regularly drank alcohol and used substances. He also used Quaaludes, a powerful sedative substance that was widely abused during that era before it was eventually banned in many countries. Looking back, Johnson has spoken honestly about this period, acknowledging that substances were a major part of the party culture surrounding him at the time. Johnson has also shared stories about some of the parties he organized himself. He explained that he and a group of friends would sometimes arrange large gatherings at their homes or other private locations. To make these events more glamorous, they often contacted local modeling agencies and invited many professional models to attend. These parties were designed to be exciting social events filled with beautiful guests, music, food, drinks, and entertainment. According to Johnson, this became a regular part of his lifestyle during those years when he was at the peak of his fame. His social circle included many wealthy and influential people. Johnson said he often attended highly exclusive parties in Florida that were closed to the general public. Only carefully selected guests received invitations, making these events some of the most private and elite gatherings in the state. Because of his celebrity status, Johnson was welcomed into these exclusive circles, where he met people from many different backgrounds. According to Johnson, the guest lists at these parties were unusual because they included people from both respectable and criminal worlds. Politicians, law enforcement officers, wealthy business people, and celebrities could all be found at the same events. At the same time, Johnson claimed that some well-known substance dealers also attended these gatherings. This mix of powerful public figures and people connected to illegal activities reflected the wild party culture that existed in some social circles during the 1980s. Johnson also recalled that many attractive women, including escorts, were present at some of these exclusive parties. He once described them as the best-looking hookers in the business, showing how open and excessive the atmosphere at these events could be. His comments illustrated just how extreme some of these gatherings were, and how different they were from ordinary social occasions. As the years passed, Johnson's lifestyle gradually changed. he has spoken more openly about the mistakes he made during his younger years and has reflected on how fame, money, and constant attention influenced his decisions. While his wild lifestyle became a major part of his public image during the 80s, it does not define his entire life or career. So, how was his childhood? Did he have a humble background? Let's find out. Donnie Wayne Johnson's early life. Johnson was born on December 15, 1949, in his grandmother's house in Flat Creek, Missouri. His mother, Nell, whose family name before marriage was Wilson, worked as a beautician. His father, Freddie Wayne Johnson, was a farmer. At the time of his birth, his mother was 16 years old and his father was 19 years old. The family moved to Wichita, Kansas, when Johnson was 5 years old. His father got a job there with Boeing Aircraft. Johnson spent most of his early years in this new place. He later talked about his childhood as very difficult and full of problems. His parents were often not around and felt a lot of stress. His father used physical punishment on the children when he was angry. This happened during a time when things at home were already hard. When Johnson turned 12, his parents got a divorce. After that, he stayed with his mother, his younger sister, and his 2 younger brothers. Life continued in this way until he was 13 years old. At that point, he got into trouble with the law and appeared in juvenile court. The court decided he should go live with his father in Missouri. Later, Johnson moved back to Wichita for his final year of high school. During this time, he worked part-time jobs to help himself. He worked as an apprentice to a butcher and also sold ladies' shoes. He went to Wichita South High School and finished his studies there in 1967. School life had its own challenges. Johnson got removed from the football team. To make up the needed school credits and graduate, he signed up for a drama class. His teacher saw something special in him and gave him encouragement. Johnson got the main role of Tony in the school play West Side Story. This experience opened new doors for him. He also learned about the works of famous writers like Molière, Tennessee Williams, and Shakespeare. These plays showed him a different world of stories and emotions. In his last semester of high school, Johnson tried out for a summer theater program at the University of Kansas. He did well in the audition and received a partial scholarship. This success led to a full scholarship to study drama as his main subject at the university. While at the university, Johnson was 18 years old. During this period, he started a relationship with his acting teacher, who was 29 years old. In his second year at the university, Johnson decided to leave. He had passed an audition for the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. This opportunity pulled him away from school and toward a bigger stage in acting. Johnson's early life shows a mix of hardship and discovery. From a broken home in Missouri and Kansas, he faced many difficulties that shaped him. His parents' young ages when he was born may have added to the stress in the family. Moving between places and living with different parents created an unstable feeling. The physical punishment and absence of his parents left deep marks. Even the personal experience he shared about losing his virginity at a young age points to a childhood that moved too fast in some ways. Yet, through all this, Johnson found a path in acting. The drama class that started as a way to earn credits became something much more important. It gave him confidence and a sense of purpose. Playing Tony in West Side Story was a turning point. The stories from great playwrights like Shakespeare introduced him to complex characters and ideas. These experiences helped him see beyond his troubled home life. His time at the University of Kansas built on that foundation. The scholarship recognized his talent and gave him a chance to develop it. The relationship with his older acting teacher was another part of his personal growth during those years. Leaving college for the professional theater program in San Francisco marked the start of his real journey into the world of acting. Looking back, Johnson's story from birth in 1949 to his move to San Francisco is one of survival and finding passion. He dealt with divorce, court involvement, and family separation before he was even a teenager. Working odd jobs while finishing high school in 1967 showed his determination. Each step, from the small-town birth to the big city theater opportunity, built the person who would later become well-known. How did begin his career? Did he face some struggles? Let's find out. Don Johnson career. Don Johnson's first major acting role came in 1969 when he starred as Smitty in the stage play Fortune and Men's Eyes. The play was produced and directed by actor Sal Mineo at the Coronet Theater in Los Angeles. Johnson's performance attracted attention because the play included a very realistic and disturbing prison assault scene involving his character. Although the role helped people notice his talent, it did not immediately make him famous. Soon afterward, he appeared in the film The Magic Garden of Stanley Sweetheart, 1970, but the movie failed to leave a lasting impression on audiences. Even though success did not come right away, Johnson continued to work hard. During the 1970s, he appeared in several stage productions, television shows, and movies while trying to build his acting career. Some of his better-known films from this period included Zachariah, 1971, Lollipop and Roses, 1971, The Herod Experiment, 1973, and the science fiction film A Boy and His Dog, 1975, which later became a cult favorite. In 1976, Johnson was living with his friend and mentor, Sal Mineo, when Mineo was tragically murdered. The shocking event had a deep impact on Johnson. After spending many years taking different acting jobs without becoming a major star, Johnson finally got his big break in 1984. He was chosen to play undercover police detective Sonny Crockett in the hit television series Miami Vice. The show, created by Michael Mann and produced by Universal Television, became one of the biggest television successes of the 1980s. It aired from 1984 to 1990 and turned Johnson into an international celebrity. Johnson's character, Sonny Crockett, became one of the most memorable television heroes of the decade. Crockett was known for his stylish clothes, designer suits worn with colorful t-shirts, expensive watches, fast sports cars, and his unusual home on a houseboat with his pet alligator named Elvis. His partner on the show was Ricardo Tubbs, played by Philip Michael Thomas. Miami Vice became famous for its exciting action, beautiful camera work, modern fashion, and its heavy use of popular music, changing the way television crime dramas were made. Johnson's outstanding performance in Miami Vice brought him several major award nominations. In 1985, he received an Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. He also won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Television Drama in 1986 and earned another Golden Globe nomination in 1987. While working on Miami Vice, Johnson expanded his career into other projects. In 1985, he starred in the television miniseries The Long Hot Summer, which was based on the earlier 1958 film. Around the same time, he also entered the music business. His first album, Heartbeat, was released in 1986, and he helped create a music television program connected to the album. Johnson continued acting in movies during the late 1980s. In 1988, he appeared in the romantic comedy Sweet Hearts Dance alongside Susan Sarandon, Jeff Daniels, and Elizabeth Perkins. The following year, he starred in the action thriller Dead Bang, 1989, as Jerry Beck, the sheriff of Los Angeles County. During the 1990s, Johnson took on many different film roles. In 1990, he played drifter and used car salesman Harry Maddox in The Hot Spot, starring with Jennifer Connelly and Virginia Madsen. He also appeared with his wife, Melanie Griffith, in Paradise, 1991, and Born Yesterday, 1993. Other films from this period included Harley-Davidson and the Marlboro Man, 1991, with Mickey Rourke, and the thriller Guilty as Sin, 1993, starring Rebecca De Mornay. Johnson returned to television in 1996 with another successful police drama, Nash Bridges. The series ran until 2001 and featured Johnson as Nash Bridges, a San Francisco police inspector who was later promoted to captain. He starred alongside Cheech Marin, Jeff Perry, Kelly Hu, Annette O'Toole, Jody Lynn O'Keefe, and James Gammon. Just like in Miami Vice, Johnson's character became known for driving a stylish car, this time a bright yellow 1971 Plymouth Barracuda. In 2005, Johnson appeared in the courtroom drama Just Legal, playing an experienced lawyer who worked with a young partner played by Jay Baruchel. Unfortunately, the show was cancelled after only a few episodes. In 2007, he returned to the stage by performing as Nathan Detroit in the London production of the musical Guys and Dolls. Johnson continued to appear in both American and international films. In 2008, he acted in the Norwegian comedy Lang Flight Baller 2 as a favor to his friend, director Harald Zwart. He also appeared in the romantic comedy When in Rome, alongside Danny DeVito, Angelica Houston, and Kristen Bell. In 2010, Johnson played the villain Von Jackson in the action film Machete. That same year, he joined the HBO comedy series Eastbound and Down as the long-lost father of the main character. He also returned as Sonny Crockett in a Nike commercial with basketball star LeBron James. Johnson remained active throughout the 2010s. In 2011, he made a brief appearance in the comedy A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy. In 2012, he played plantation owner Spencer Big Daddy Bennett in Quentin Tarantino's award-winning Western Django Unchained. In 2014, he received praise for his role in the crime drama Cold in July. And in 2015, he starred in the television drama Blood and Oil. His later career also included important roles in Book Club, 2018, where he starred with Jane Fonda, Knives Out, 2019, where he played Richard Drysdale, and the HBO superhero series Watchmen, 2019, where he portrayed Police Chief Judd Crawford. In 2021, Johnson joined the television comedy Kenan, which ended in 2022. That same year, he reunited with Cheech Marin for a Nash Bridges television movie. In 2024, Johnson was announced as one of the stars of the television drama Dr. Odyssey. The series premiered on ABC and Hulu on September 26, 2024. However, after only one season, the show was cancelled on June 27, 2025, when the main cast's contract options expired. Despite the cancellation, Johnson continued to be recognized as one of Hollywood's most respected and enduring actors, with a career that has lasted for more than 5 decades. Did he engage in any other aspect of life? And what was it? Let's take a closer look. Don Johnson's music career. During the 1980s, Don Johnson decided to explore another side of his talent by building a career in music. Although he was already one of television's biggest stars, he wanted to see if he could also succeed as a pop singer. Instead of treating music as a simple hobby, Johnson worked seriously on recording albums and performing songs. His music reflected the popular pop and soft rock style of the decade, giving fans a chance to hear a different side of the actor they knew from television. In 1986, Johnson released his first pop album, Heartbeat. The album attracted a great deal of attention because of his fame as an actor, but it also showed that he was committed to making music. The title track, Heartbeat, quickly became the biggest success from the album. The song received regular airplay on radio stations across the United States and became popular with listeners. It climbed to the number 5 position on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart, making it one of the most successful songs ever released by an actor during that period. The achievement proved that Johnson was more than just a television star trying music. He had created a hit song that connected with a wide audience. The success of Heartbeat encouraged Johnson to continue recording music. Fans who enjoyed his acting career were eager to hear more, while new listeners discovered him through his songs. His music featured catchy melodies, emotional lyrics, and the polished sound that was popular throughout the 1980s. Even though his acting career remained his main focus, music became an important creative outlet for him. A few years later, in 1989, Johnson released his second pop album, Let It Roll. The album allowed him to continue his musical journey and showed that he had not given up on his dream of being a recording artist. Although it did not match the commercial success of Heartbeat, it demonstrated his dedication to making music and expanding his career beyond acting. The album included several songs that reflected his personal style and continued the pop sound that fans had come to expect from him. Johnson also enjoyed success through a special musical partnership with his then-girlfriend, Barbra Streisand, one of the most famous singers in the world. The two recorded a romantic duet called "Till I Loved You." Their voices blended well together, and the song attracted attention because it featured two well-known stars who were also a couple in real life. Fans were naturally curious to hear them perform together, and the duet became a memorable part of both of their careers. "Till I Loved You" was released on October 25, 1988, as part of Streisand's studio album of the same name. The song became a top 40 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, showing that audiences enjoyed the collaboration. It combined Johnson's warm, relaxed singing style with Streisand's powerful and emotional voice, creating a performance that appealed to many listeners. The duet helped introduce Johnson to even more music fans, while adding another successful song to his growing musical career. Years later, in 2002, the duet found a new audience when it was included on Streisand's album Duets. Its re-release allowed longtime fans to enjoy the song once again, while introducing it to younger listeners who may not have heard it when it first came out. The song remained a reminder of Johnson's time in the music industry and of his successful collaboration with one of the greatest singers of her generation. Although Don Johnson is remembered mainly for his successful acting career, especially his work on television, his achievements in music remain an interesting chapter in his life. Releasing 2 albums, producing a top 5 hit with Heartbeat, and recording a successful duet with Barbra Streisand showed that he was willing to challenge himself and try something new. However, his music career may not have been as long or as famous as his acting career, but it proved that he had talents beyond the screen. How was his love life? Did he keep multiple relationships? Let's find out. Don Johnson relationships. Don Johnson's personal life has often attracted as much attention as his acting career. Over the years, he has had several marriages and high-profile relationships. In 1968, when Johnson was 18, he married a dancer. However, the marriage lasted only about 2 months before it was annulled. Her identity has never been made public. Around 1971, Johnson lived with Pamela Des Barres, who became well known for being involved with many famous rock musicians. In 1973, he married for a second time, but that marriage also ended in an annulment just a few days later. Johnson has never revealed his second wife's name, although he once described her as a wealthy but foolish woman. In 1972, while filming the Herad experiment, Johnson met Melanie Griffith, the 14-year-old daughter of his co-star Tippi Hedren. Johnson and Griffith began living together when she was 15 and he was 23. They became engaged on her 18th birthday and married in January 1976. Their marriage was short-lived. They separated in July of the same year and officially divorced in November. After that, Johnson dated country music singer Tanya Tucker. They met while working together on the 1979 television movies Amateur Night at the Dixie Bar and Grill and The Rebels. In 1980, he briefly dated Sally Adams, who is the mother of actress Nicolette Sheridan. In January 1981, Johnson ended his relationship with Tanya Tucker after meeting model Patty D'Arbanville at a restaurant in Los Angeles. Johnson and D'Arbanville lived together from 1981 until 1985, although they never married. They had a son together, Jesse Wayne Johnson, who was born on December 7, 1982. During the early 1980s, Johnson also dated model Doña Fiorentino, who lived next door to him in Florida. They broke up, but reunited in 1986 after Fiorentino ended another relationship. Actress Sybil Shepherd later wrote in her 2000 autobiography that she had a brief romance with Johnson while they were filming the television miniseries The Long Hot Summer in 1985. Johnson later had a relationship with singer Barbra Streisand, and they remained together until at least September 1988. After that, he briefly dated actress Penelope Ann Miller, who appeared with him in the 1989 movie Dead Bang. Only a few days after ending his relationship with Streisand, Johnson, who was then 38, was romantically linked to 18-year-old Uma Thurman. Not long afterward, he reunited with Melanie Griffith. Griffith became pregnant with their child early in 1989, and they married for a second time in June 1989. Their daughter, Dakota Johnson, was born on October 4, 1989. The couple stayed together until 1996, when they divorced again. In 1995, Johnson was linked to model Carrie Whitman. From 1996 to 1997, he dated actress Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, who played his daughter on the television series Nash Bridges. On April 29, 1999, Johnson married Kelly Flegger, a San Francisco socialite and Montessori nursery school teacher. The wedding took place at the Pacific Heights home of Anne and Gordon Getty. Actor Robert Wagner was Johnson's best man, and San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown performed the civil wedding ceremony. Johnson and Kelly Flegger have 3 children together. Their daughter, Atherton Grace, was born on December 28, 1999. Their first son, Jasper Breckenridge, was born on June 6, 2002, and their second son, Deacon, was born on April 29, 2006. Johnson was also very close friends with journalist Hunter S. Thompson, who wrote episodes for Nash Bridges. Johnson's daughter, Dakota, even considered Thompson to be like a godfather. He is also a longtime friend of San Francisco socialite Denise Hale, the former wife of film director Vincente Minnelli. Although there were once rumors that Johnson and Hale were romantically involved, both of them strongly denied the claims and said they were simply close friends. What legal issues was he involved in? And were they resolved? Let's find out. Legal dispute and settlement. In April 1997, Don Johnson became involved in a legal dispute after 2 former employees filed a lawsuit against him. One of the women had worked as his chauffeur, while the other had been a production assistant on the television series Nash Bridges. They accused Johnson of sexually harassing them while they were employed by him. The allegations received a great deal of media attention because Johnson was a famous television and film actor. Johnson firmly denied all of the accusations. He claimed that the women had made false statements that damaged his reputation. In response, he filed his own legal claims against them, accusing them of defamation. He also alleged that they had worked together in an attempt to extort $1.5 million from him by making false accusations. The legal battle continued for several months before both sides agreed to settle the matter. In January 1998, Johnson and the 2 women decided to end the case through a confidential settlement. Both sides dropped their civil lawsuits against each other, and the details of the agreement were kept private. Because the settlement was confidential, the public never learned the exact terms, and no court ruled on the truth of the allegations. Another legal issue arose in July 2001, when a woman accused Johnson of grabbing her inappropriately while they were at a sushi restaurant in San Francisco. The complaint was reviewed by the district attorney, who examined the available evidence to determine whether criminal charges should be filed. After reviewing the case, prosecutors decided there was not enough evidence to move forward with criminal charges. Johnson's representatives strongly denied the accusation and described it as completely without merit. Since no criminal charges were filed, the case did not proceed to a criminal trial. In November 2002, Johnson became involved in an unusual incident while traveling through Germany. Customs officers stopped his black Mercedes-Benz during a routine inspection at the Swiss-German border. During the search, they found bank documents in the trunk showing financial transactions worth $8 billion. Johnson was traveling with 3 other men, including an investment advisor and his personal assistant. The identity of the 3rd passenger could not be confirmed by investigators. Because of the enormous amount of money mentioned in the documents, authorities initially suspected that the case might involve money laundering, which is the process of hiding the illegal source of money by moving it through financial transactions. The incident attracted widespread media attention, and investigators carefully examined the evidence. After completing their investigation, authorities found no evidence that Johnson had broken any laws. He was officially cleared of any wrongdoing, and no criminal charges were filed against him. In May 2008, Johnson faced serious financial problems involving his home in Woody Creek, Colorado. The property was about to be taken through foreclosure because of unpaid debts. However, within hours of losing the home, Johnson paid off the $14.5 million he owed. By paying the debt in time, he successfully prevented the foreclosure and kept ownership of his property. Johnson later became involved in another major legal dispute, this time over the television series Nash Bridges. In July 2010, a jury in Los Angeles ruled in his favor in a lawsuit against Reicher Entertainment, the company that had produced the show. Johnson argued that he owned half of the copyright to Nash Bridges and was entitled to a larger share of the profits earned by the successful series. After hearing the evidence, the jury agreed with him and awarded him $23.2 million in damages. Although Reicher Entertainment announced that it planned to appeal the verdict, the dispute did not continue for much longer. In January 2013, both sides settled before the appeal process was completed. Under the agreement, Reicher Entertainment paid Johnson $19 million, bringing the lengthy legal battle to an end. So, what do you think about the heartbreaking truth about Don Johnson's life? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.